Good day. Good day, good day. So we're going to do some yoga fundamentals today. So just basic yoga poses, nothing too fancy. A couple of them are hard, but it's basic yoga poses. You want, of course, a yoga mat. You may want a yoga block. Your hamstrings are tight. You don't necessarily need a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use like a hardcover book, or you don't have any hardcover books laying around, get a few old iPads and tape them together, and that becomes your new yoga block. Okay, so let's start in seated pose. So I'm going to sit facing the camera, but come to a seat at the front or the short edge of your mat, and just sit with your legs crossed, easy cross. Sitting tall with your hands, your wrists just hang on your knees, sitting tall, and just close your eyes and take 3 nice deep inhales and 3 nice deep exhales. Just feel the floor below you. And breathe. Your eyes are closed, open your eyes. Drop your chin to your chest, roll your right ear over to your right shoulder, stretching the left side of your neck. Always important to stretch and warm up your neck before yoga. Take an inhale here. Exhale, roll the chin to the chest, left ear to left shoulder. So for these beginning poses, don't worry about mirroring me. If I say left, go left. If I say right, go right. Inhale again, roll the chin to the chest, your right ear to your right shoulder. One more time, inhale, roll the chin to the chest and your left ear to your left shoulder. Inhale again, exhale, drop the chin to the chest, head back up to neutral. Again, we're not going to mirror during this part of the sequence. Inhale, your arms overhead. Now exhale, turn to your right, bring your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you. Seated twist. So push into the back hand, pull that back shoulder back and down, and grab that knee with the left hand, pull yourself and look behind you. So as you inhale, push into the back hand, lengthen your spine, pull the shoulder back and down. As you exhale, squeeze your low abs in and twist a little more. So inhale, push and lengthen. Exhale, squeeze the abs and twist. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Slowly unwind. Bring your arms up overhead and go to the other side. So back hand down. Don't let the shoulder roll forward. Pull the shoulder back and down. Press into the hand. Grow tall through your spine. Grab that opposite knee. And as you inhale, push into the back hand. Lengthen up. Get taller. Exhale. Squeeze your abs in and twist. Look behind you more. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale to twist. One more time. Inhale, we'll grow tall. And exhale and twist. Inhale, unwind, arms overhead. Exhale, let your hands come down. So make your way onto all fours. So knees are directly under the hips. So they're about a fist to a fist and a half distance apart. Hands, wrists are directly under shoulders. You want your fingers spread nice and wide. Nice wide fingers. We'll warm up our spine with cat and cow. The feet should be relaxed. So you're going to roll on your tippy toes on the tops of your feet. So you're going to drop your belly, pull your shoulders back and down, lift your heart, look out, look up. Feel like you're sticking your booty out. And you're in your cow pose. You're going to exhale, push into your hands, round the spine in the opposite direction, and look at your knees. You're in a tall, frayed cat pose. Inhale back to the cow pose. Really accentuate that lumbar curve, that low part of your back curve. Really lift your heart, pull your shoulders back and down, and look exhale, round the opposite direction into your cat pose, like an archway here. Push the floor away from you. One more time. Inhale into your cow. And exhale to your tall, Freddy cat. Back to the neutral spine. Okay, so again, don't worry about mirroring, just listen. Send your right leg back and up and point the toes. Left arm goes up, thumb goes up and hold. This is flag pose. I'm just gonna hang out here for a few breaths. And kind of look at the floor below you at about like a 45 degree angle. Hand down, knee down, other side. So send the leg back and up, point the toes, other hand up, thumb up, and hang out. Just breathe here. Really lengthen through the fingertips, lengthen through the toes. Hand down, knee down, other side. Just like before, we're going to add a little variation here. So turn your palm down, bring your arm out to the side, bring your leg out to the side, and flex the foot now. Hang out here for a breath. Bring everything back to center. Hand down, knee down, other side. Palm down, arm out to the side, leg out to the side, and flex the foot. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Back to center, hand down, knee down, another variation. Send the right leg back and up, point the toes, other arm up. So bend the leg is in the air, reach back, grab your foot or your ankle, then lift the knee higher than the other knee, then use the strength of the leg to press your heel away from your glute and pull your shoulder back and down as you look up. Breathe here for a few breaths. Release out of that. Other side. Out. Up. Reach. Again, pull the knee up first, then drive the heel away from the glutes as you look up. If your knee's down, it doesn't work. Knee has to be up. Release from that. Hand down, knee down. We're having so much fun on all fours. Let's do one more thing on all fours. So right leg back and up. Other hand up. Out to the side. Out to the side again and flex. Back to everything, back to center. Knee comes down. Arm out to the side again. And take that arm and thread it through the gap between your torso and your other arm. And imagine someone's pulling on that hand. A lot of times we come down onto the sides of our faces and down to our shoulders. We're not doing that here. We're really stretching the back. As someone's pulling the hand away from you. Bring it back out. Open up to the side like a big barn door. Hand down. Okay, other side. Send it all back out and up. Do your little side thing here. Back to center. Bring the back knee down, arm up the side again, and reach through. Now imagine someone's pulling your wrist, like stretching, like opening up the distance between your shoulder blades. Big stretch here. Another breath here. Open up to the side like a big barn door, stretching our chest. Hand comes down. All right. Step your feet back into your plank pose, on your tippy toes. Hike your hips up to downward dog, your first down dog of the day. And pedal your feet. So drop one heel down, bend the opposite knee, and go back and forth, walking your dog. Drive both heels down. Lift your head, look past your hands, come up on your tippy toes, and then walk your feet to your hands. in a forward fold. Straighten your legs if they're already straight. Hang here. Now lift up to wherever you can get a flat back. So if you're being way up high, it doesn't matter. If you got super flexy hamstrings, you can stay low. My hands are right on my knees. Look at the ground, nice flat back. Exhale, fold again. Now soften, bend the knees, tee the arms, reverse swan dive up. Hands overhead, hands toward center, down, palms facing forward. Lift the chest, Tadasana, mountain pose. All right, we're going to do a couple sun salutation A variations. So feet parallel. Again, hip distance apart. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, tee the arms, swan dive with a nice flat back, and then round all the way down into your forward fold. Inhale up to wherever your flat back is. Exhale down to your forward fold. I'll have a cat come and help. Then walk your feet back to your plank. Hi there. I don't know how I'm going to go down. Oh, thank you, cat. All right. I got a cat helping. All right. You're in your plank. And slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Bring your belly to the ground. Untuck your feet. Seam your legs together as one unit. Going up into our cobra pose. So pull the elbows back and down. Just lift the chest up a little bit. Doesn't have to come up that high. Hello, cat. I got a cat in my face. All right. All right. Now, push into your hands. Keep your lower body on the ground and push up. Come up onto your knees, kind of like all fours. Walk your knees, separate your knees, the wide edges of the mat. Bring your toes together to touch. Then walk your hands back and try to drive your heels, your glutes down onto your heels. Get as low as you can. Then head comes down, arms out in front, extended child's pose. Just breathe here in your extended child's pose. Your forearms should not be on the ground, just your hands. Lift your hips up. Walk your knees closer together again. Tuck your toes and push right up into your down dog. Back in our down dog. Soften the knees, come up on the tippy toes, look past your hands again. Tippy toe, your feet to your hands to your forward fold. If you got a cat here, you can pet the cat. Don't worry if you don't have a cat. Come up to your flat back. Forward fold again. Soften the knees. Tee the arms, reverse swan dive up. Hands through heart center in prayer pose. Hands down to the side. Mountain pose. Okay. Let's make that a little bit harder. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale up to your flat back. Exhale down, forward fold, plant the hands, walk back to your plank. All right. Going to upward facing dog. So don't drop your hips here. All right. Just pull your body forward, come to the tops of your feet, lift your heart, pull your shoulders back and down, and look up. Upward facing dog. Too often people let their hips drop here. It puts too much pressure on the low back. Keep the hips high here, about the same level that they were in plank. Now, pike the hips up again and come onto your tippy toes, press back, downward facing dog. This time, let's take about 5 breaths in our down dog. All right, push the floor away from you and drive your chest towards your toes. Try to get your heels down. Don't worry if your heels don't touch. You need really long Achilles tendons to get your heels down. A few more breaths here. And again, come up to your tippy toes, soften knees, and tippy toe feet to hands, forward fold. Squeeze in a little deeper into your forward fold every time. Come on up, flat back. On my shoulders, back and down, nice flat back. Forward fold again. Bend the knees, T the arms, reverse swan up. Hands to heart center. Back to mountain pose. Take a breath in your mountain pose. Back into it. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Forward fold. Find your mountain pose. Again, look at the floor in mountain pose. Soften the knees if you need to plant hand, step back to plank. Going to chaturanga. So, bend the arms, come halfway down. Don't let the hips fall. Chaturanga. Now, lift the heart, come to the tops of the feet. Keep those hips up. Upward facing dog, look up. Exhale, pike the hips up. Come back to your tippy toes, balls of your feet. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Actually, let's make this a little more interesting. Lift your left leg up for a change. Bend it. Point that left knee to the sky and look under the opposite armpit. See if you can see your foot. A little bit of a hip opener here. Re-square the hips. Straighten that leg. Foot comes down. Other leg up. Bend the leg. Point the knee to the sky. Look under the opposite armpit. Oh, there's my foot. Say hello. Open those hips up. Re-square the hips. Straighten that leg. Foot comes down. Now, right, press your fingers and your palms into the ground. Push the mat away from you and drive your chest towards your toes. Nice straight legs here if you can. Soften knees. Come up on your tippy toes again. Walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Flat back. Forward fold again. Bend the knees. T the arms, reverse swan dive up. Hands together in prayer. Bring the hands down through heart center. Off the side. Mountain pose. All right. So step to face the long edge of your mat. And widen your feet. Your feet turn out slightly. Hands to hips. We're going to do a couple of mini back bends here. So thumbs and back, hands right on top of the hips. Push the hips forward. Lift the heart. Pull the elbows back. Drop the head back. Little baby back bend. And then bring the torso back up to neutral. Hands at heart center again. Press hips forward. Add your little back bend. So go to back bend. Counterbalance by pushing the hips forward as you do your back bend. Then send both hands straight to the sky, palms facing one another. Now you can stay here, or if you want, you start bringing your arms back to be in line with your head. If you do so, keep pressing the weight forward as you bring the arms back so you don't fall over backwards. I've actually seen someone fall over backwards doing that. Now hands come back up to the top, straighten the torso, hands down to heart center, and down to the sides. Okay, now we do some mirrors. So I'm going to turn to the right, you all turn to the left. I'm going to bend the right knee, you all bend the left knee. It's going to pivot around. The back foot is going to pivot around. It's going to be facing like a 45-degree angle, heels down. All right. Bend that front knee, which is your right knee, which is your left knee rather, my right knee. Arms overhead, warrior one. All right, just hanging out here on warrior one. Now, arms straight overhead, nice straight arms. Straighten the front leg, hands come to hips. That was our first side. We're going to rotate all the way around to the other side. I'm going to call this the second side, so we don't get confused with left and right. Bend that knee, the new front knee. Arms overhead, warrior one on this side. Now the back foot is down, pressing your energy and your weight into the back edge of the back foot. Now you can make this super good by getting down low, but you don't have to. Whatever's comfortable for you today. All right, nice straight arms. Warrior one. Straighten the front leg, hands hips, pivoting around to our first side again. and drop into your warrior one. Hands overhead. And we go to warrior two, so you go open your hips to the long edge of the mat, tee your arms, and try to get your shoulders directly over your shoulders. So I want to be leaning forward like this. Shoulders over hips, palms down, look at the front hand. Warrior two. Should feel good. So again, direct your mind, direct your energy into the back edge of the back foot. Now pivot the hips towards the short edge of the mat. Arms overhead again, warrior one. Straighten that knee, that front knee. Hands hip, pivot back around to the second side. And my cat's doing the luge or something. Anyway, then the front knee, arms overhead, warrior one. It's a funny cat. Tee the arms, open the hips to the side, palms down, warrior two. Look over the front hand. And again, push into the back edge of the back foot. Drive the energy along the back edge of the back leg. And again, don't lean. Get those shoulders over the hips. Warrior two, hang out in warrior two. All right. Pivot the hips forward, arms overhead, warrior one. Straighten that front leg. Hands to hips. Pivot back around again. Back into our warrior one on the first side. Open right up to warrior two. Then backhand to back leg. Flip the front palm and then side bend backwards. Look at the top hand. Reverse warrior. Just breathe here for a few seconds. All right. Float back to warrior two. Pivot and reach. Warrior one. Hands to hips. Come up. Spin it around to the second side. I know, he's a good kitty. Warrior one on this side. Warrior two on this side. Again, get the shoulders over the hips. Flip the front hand, back hand to back leg. Side bend back. Reverse warrior. Look at your top hand. And breathe. All right. Back to warrior two. I know you're going to help. Back to warrior. Sorry, my warrior one. Straighten the front leg, hands, hips. Back to the first side again. Drop into your warrior one on this side. Open to warrior two. Add to reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Going to triangle. So reach forward. So your shoulders and upper ribs are going to reach forward. Front hand's going to come down to the leg or the mat. Other arm to the sky. Triangle pose. So this pose is working two things. It's working your hamstrings, but more importantly, it's opening your chest. So the top hand wants to go back as far as it can. Triangle pose. And breathe. You look forward, you can look to the top hand, look down. I like looking forward. And then just float back up. Sink back down. Warrior two. Add your reverse warrior. Back to warrior two on the side. Back to warrior one on the side. Straighten that front leg, hands, hips. Going back to our second side and repeating that sequence. So we drop in. Warrior one. Open up. Warrior two. Add our side bend. Reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. All right. So going into triangle. So I'm not going to go as deep this side because hip surgery several weeks ago. So shift, pivot, arm to leg, to the ground. So I'm just going to go down to my leg here. I want to strain this. And Go where you can go today. This is also a good place if you want to use one of your yoga blocks or your book. And float back up. Sink on down. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Warrior two again. Pivot the hips to the short edge of the mat. Arms overhead, nice straight. Warrior one. Straighten the leg. Hands to hips. Spin it around again. Back to the first side. Let me get that door open. That arm can't. All right. Bend front knee. Arms overhead. Warrior one. Open. Like a big barn door. Open. Warrior two. Edge reverse. Back to warrior two. This time, front elbow to front knee. Other arm to the sky. Then other arm overhead in the direction of a wall. Side angle pose. Now you want to look forward. Now imagine someone like earlier, imagine someone's grabbing your wrist and pulling on your arm to open up that shoulder socket. A couple breaths here. All right, top arm to the sky, float. Back to warrior two. Edge reverse, oh, I'm creaky there. Back to warrior two. Back to warrior one. Straighten that front knee, hands to hips. Back to the second side. Getting there, almost there. Bend the front knee. Warrior one. Open. Warrior two. Edge reverse. Back to warrior two. Front elbow, front knee. Other arm to the sky first. Then overhead, which is in the direction of a wall. Don't let the chest collapse here. Open the chest to the side. Good job. Right, top arm to the sky. Float back. Warrior two. Reverse. Back to warrior two. Back to warrior one. Straighten the front knee, hands, hips. Spin it around again to the first side. Find your warrior one again. Now, carefully pivot the back heel off the ground, line feet up with each other, crescent warrior. All right, crescent warrior. Now the tricky part. Slowly bring that back knee to the ground. Untuck the back foot. Push the hips forward. Interlace the fingers. Point the index finger. And add a little back bend. Pull arms behind you. Crescent moon pose. All right. From here, arms back to the sky. Hands overhead. Tricky part again. Tuck that foot. All right. If you need to use your hands to help you get up, do so. But if you can, just lift that back knee up. Oh, yeah. That's what that hit. That didn't work too well. Other side should be better. Crescent warrior. Straighten the front leg. Hands, hips. Spin it around again. All right. Find your warrior one. And slowly lift the back heel. All right. And feet are in line. Crescent warrior. All right. Slowly bend the back knee. Touch the foot, knee down. Untuck the back foot. Interlace the fingers. Point the index finger. Press hips forward and lean back. Crescent moon pose. Right. Torso back up. Separate the hands. Tuck the toes. Pop back up. That sounds better. Right. Straighten the front knee. Hands to hips. Spin it around. One more sequence. Come back in. Find your crescent warrior again. Back heel up. Going to warrior three. So we lean over a little bit. Bend a little deeper on our knees. And pop our back leg up. As we bend forward. Into our warrior three. Balance. If the back foot touches down, don't worry. And float back into your crescent. Hands to hips. Spin it around. Find crescent warrior on this side. Lean. A little energy in the legs and then hop, hop. Back leg up. All right, this side's not so pretty. And float back into crescent. Hands to hips. Straighten the front leg. Pivot and face the long edge of your mat. Walk your feet together, standing tall. More balances here. So let's do our basic tree pose. So hands at heart center, lift the chest. Take the left leg, which will be your right leg, open it from the hip so the foot turns away from you. Then take that leg, that foot, lift the heel up. You need to bring it to your calf area or your thigh area. Either or, arms overhead, tree pose. Open the leg out to the side, touchdown, star, foot down, arms down, other side. So again, open the leg to the side, turn the foot away from you at 90 degrees from the hip. Re-square the hips to the front, hands heart center, lift the heart, lift the heel. And go to the calf area or the thigh area, either or, and arms go overhead. Tree pose. Take the leg to the side, star, foot down, arms down. All right. Walk to the front of your mat. All right, we're going to come down onto our backs with grace and control. So, separate your feet a little wider than your hips. Arms out in front of you. I've never done this gracefully. Bend your knees, start sitting down. And then if you need to, bring your hands behind you and sit your butt down. If you can get all the way down with your hands in front of you and not plop down, you're an expert yogi. So legs straight out in front of you, feet are flexed. Arms out in front of you. So bend over, touch your toes, your shins, and sit up tall. So we're going to add on to that, we're going to go into plow. We're not going to go into full plow until we roll back and forth a few times to limber up our spine. So we bend forward, we touch our feet, shins, your toes. Sit up tall, plant your hands, fingers wide, fingers always wide. Plant your hands down near your waist, lean back, you bend your knees slightly, roll back, bring your feet overhead, and roll back up to seated and touch your toes. So if your feet didn't touch down behind you, don't worry. They might after we do this a few times. All right, so touching our toes, sit tall, plant our hands, roll back into our plow. Roll forward, touch our toes, roll back, plow, roll forward, touch our toes. Let's do this a couple more times. Roll back, plow, roll forward, touch your toes. This time we're going to go back, stay in plow, but don't worry if your feet don't touch down. All right, so touching our toes. So tall, plant our hands, and bend your knees a little bit if you want. Roll back, plow. Right now my feet aren't touching. But I don't care. Still in the pose, stretching my neck. Just breathe here, which is kind of hard. And bend the knees. And slowly roll back down. Plant the feet down, knees are bent. Feet about hip distance apart. Gonna do a few bridges. So, arms down, palms down, arms long. Chin is slightly tucked, back of the head on the ground. Curl the tailbone under, so just kind of rock the hips up a little bit. Now lift your hips up into your bridge, and push them a little higher. Basic bridge pose. I'm just going to stay here for about 10 breaths. Just breathe. Don't forget to try to keep your hips getting higher. push your feet into the ground, push your feet away from you, drive the hips even higher. A few more breaths here. And slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. All right, we're going to do a couple more bridges. Take your arms up to a T. Bend your arms to make goalpost or scarecrow arms. The backs of your hands, the backs of your fingertips on the ground. Rotating from the shoulders. Bring the hands to point to the sky. Now, as you lift your hips up, press your palms down towards the ground. A little shoulder stretch in bridge. Again, the more you press your hands down, the higher you want to try to get your hips. Just a few more breaths here. Slowly allow the hips to come down as the arms come all the way back and down. Everything's down. Now take your arms back on your sides. Now just lift your butt up a little bit. Take your hands underneath your waist. Interlace your fingers. Now press your pinkies into the mat. Press your elbows and forearms into the mat if you can. And then lift your hips up higher as you press your hands, your pinkies into the mat. A little chest opening in bridge. Release the clasp of your hand. Hands come on down. All right. Let's do reclining pigeon. All right. So, again, hip surgery thing. I can't do full pigeon yet, but we can take advantage of reclining pigeon. So, cross your right leg over your left and don't worry about mirroring. You got your figure four pose. All right. So, head, neck, and shoulders come off the ground. One hand goes through the hole you made with your legs. Other hand goes to the side. Lift the foot that's on the ground and grab your shin or behind your leg, either or. Now, keep in that nice figure four position. Let your head come back down, shoulders come back down. Flex both feet. Now you're actively pulling on the one leg, and then you're using your adductor and abductor muscles to try to drive the opposite hip away, opposite knee away from you. An active stretch. All right, release out of that. All right. Let's see what happens here. All right, cross one leg over the other. So far, so good. Curl on up, one hand through, other hand around. So this time I'm going to grab the back of my leg because I'm still in therapy with this hip. Head comes down, flex both feet. So this is a lot better than before I had surgery. Also, again, tilt your chin down a little bit here. And just breathe. All right, release on that. Both feet down. Since we're talking about our chins, let's do a little posture exercise. So, reach back, find the edge of your mat, and fold it over. So you have a double layer back. Put your head back down on the double layer. Arms along at your side. Tuck your chin down a little bit, and then you're going to pull your low abs in and down and get rid of your lumbar curve in your spine. So your bottom of your spine is pressed against the mat, and then you're going to press your head with your chin tucked down a little bit, chin tucked down. Press the back of your head into your mat for 10 seconds. Let's go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax for a second. So this time, not only do I want you to try to press the back of your head into the mat, but think of pulling your shoulder blades back and down at the same time as you're also getting rid of your lumbar curve by squeezing your low abs in. So let's start by squeezing our low abs in, tilting our tailbone up a little bit. The lower spine is pressing into the mat. Try to pull the shoulder blades back and down. Tuck the chin a little bit and press your head into the mat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay. Undo that little fold. Let's see, like a little fold. Let's see, look at a little pillow. Doesn't matter. Send the right leg to the sky. Don't mirror the right leg to the sky. Flex the foot. Now curl on up. And neck and shoulders come off the ground. Walk your hands up your leg wherever you can. Pull that leg close to you, nice and straight, and then extend the other leg long on the ground. Both feet flexed. So we're doing a reclining split leg hamstring stretch. And breathe. I'm going to stay here for a little bit. Get those hamstrings. And if this is not enough for you, you can climb your hands a little higher on your leg towards your foot, pull it in a little further, but make sure that leg's nice and straight. All right, release all that, plant that foot down, bring the other knee to match. Now ascend the other leg up, curl up, walk your hands up your leg, pull it back with you. Ascend the other leg long on the ground and flex both feet. Again, you want your chin slightly tucked here. You don't want to be turning it to the sky. Keep your posture here. Ooh, I can feel that. I feel that in my glute area. Whew. Good times. All right, a few more seconds here. Should I go for more? All right, I'll go for a little more. Coming up. Yeah, that's enough. All right, hit that knee. Put the foot down, bring the other knee to match. All right, walk your feet close together and then just let your knees drop open to the sides, soles of the feet together. Passive groin stretch. Just passive groin stretch. And we're just going to lay here for a few seconds. And chin slightly tucked. Get that bad habit of lifting your chin up. Try to get rid of that bad habit. Now, lift your feet off the ground. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Reach your hands inside your knees. Grab your ankles or feet and come on back down. So holding ankles or feet here. Gonna go into happy baby. So curl back up again. Grab your toes with your peace fingers. Open your legs, open your feet. Feet are flexed, pointed to the sky, knees are wide. Happy baby. Just relax here. Release out of that, plant the feet back down. So a little more hip mobility here. Bring the right knee in. Grab the shin. Pull the shin towards your chest. Hold there for a few seconds. And let the knee open towards the armpit and pull it down some more. So, good leg. We're going to see the bad leg in a second. Release out of that. All right, other leg. Doesn't go as far. Gently pull it in. Don't overdo it here. Open the knee out to the side. So I know I don't have to remind people of this, but if you've had any kind of injury or any kind of surgery and you're returning to working out, or you're just new to working out, talk to your doctor first. Tell them what kind of exercise program you want to do. Get there okay. If you're an experienced yogi, this is nothing. All right, release that. Comes down. Going into inverted staff pose. So both legs to the sky. Now really try to get those legs straight. All right. Feet together, flex the feet, and put your hands and push them onto the tops of your thighs by your knees, and then push your legs into your hands. A little active resistance there, building up our hip flexor strength. Release the hands, and then slowly, gently, as though the legs were one unit, lower the legs to the ground. Separate the feet. Let the feet flop open. Arms should be about a 30 to 45 degree angle from the body. Allow the palms to turn up. Again, don't let that chin sneak towards the ceiling. Chin slightly tucked. And then just melt into the ground into your Shavasana pose or corpse pose. What you want to do is take 10 nice long breaths here. Just breathe. Keep breathing. And let your breathing slow down. Inhale, exhale. Just a couple more breaths here. Now sweep your arms overhead as though your arms, like you're doing a snow angel. Your fingertips maintain contact with the ground. Reach through your fingertips, reach through your hands, reach through your heels, flex your feet, give yourself a big full body stretch, and then relax back down to the ground. One more time, inhale, big full body stretch. Exhale, relax the ground. Again, full body stretch. This time as you exhale, draw your knees to your chest. Roll over onto your right side. Your right side. Support your head and the side of your face on your bicep. Other hand comes to the ground. Then slowly push yourself back up to a seated position. So whatever leg was in front before when you're seated position, switch the position. So the different legs in front now. Now sitting tall. Sweep your arms overhead, look up, bring your palms together. Then pull your hands down to your heart and look down to the ground. Inhale, sweep your arms apart, look up, everything goes up. And then you pull everything back down together. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, pull everything down together. Now you bow forward. You bring your thumbs near your eyebrows, and we say, Namaste. Class is over. Thank you, everyone, for joining me.